So I think in terms of what I would want to see from a PhD student is their commitment to their PhD, first and foremost because it's their study or series of studies generally. I would expect them to come up with ideas, but not to be afraid of saying, you know, I've got no idea what's going on here, and being able to ask for that advice as well. So I think it's a balance between both of those things really. So they need to be proactive and motivated and confident in what they're doing, but they also, you know, there are going to be times when they feel that they don't have a clue and that they're not afraid to come and ask about that as well.
Well, my expectations as a PhD supervisor are, I think, on the top of my list is enthusiasm. I want a student who has fun working on the topic and who is enthusiastic about his work. I think that's for me the most important thing. I know that a lot of people put things like grades and intelligence on top of the list, but that's not for me the case. In fact, they're not even, these factors are for me not even in the top 3. So the second on my list is a personal relationship, and that sounds now weird maybe, but what I mean with this is that every person, it has its own characteristics, and some persons click with each other and other persons just don't get along well, and that's not necessarily that there is that's the fault of one of the other person. And I think if you have a student, you have to have somebody who, you don't have to be friends with the student, but you need to have a certain level of empathy and sympathy for another person. So I cannot have a student, even if it's the best student in the world, who I can have a principal understanding of interaction. So that's also really important for me. And the third factor is commitment. So it's about putting in the work. And I think that completing a PhD is a lot of hard work. There will be moments of despair. There will be moments of hardship. And I think that nobody should start a PhD without knowing that and being ready to put in the effort to overcome these hurdles. And one expectation I have from a PhD student is that when things do not go well, that the student comes to me and addresses the issues. These issues might be related to the work of the students, or that these issues might be related to the relationship between the supervisor and the student. I think no matter what it is, the most important thing is communication. So that's a crucial expectation from my side. A second expectation, which is also very, very strong expectation, is there are certain moral obligations in science so that you do not forge data, that you do not copy text from another person without quoting properly. I think this is also, there must be this level of trust that the student doesn't do that. I think it is very easy to forge data, also in a way that you cannot prove that it's forged. But I think I would have to stop the supervision if I would have the fear that this is an eventuality with a high likelihood.